Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Jay from Keeping It Real, your arbiter of gaming news and commentary, hitting you off with a studio production video where you know this is your channel, where all gamers' voices are heard. With your boy Jay, always dropping the word. Keeping them other gaming YouTubers like, what you heard? And where you always know, we always keep it all the way real. So what's up, everybody? I just want to thank you all for checking out my studio production video today. And yeah, man, I'm back in effect. This one is going to just be, all Xbox discussion on all things Xbox and Microsoft. It's going to be another one of those, man, where, I'm just talking about different things that are going on right now in regards to Xbox, different things that I wanted to, drop my piece on when it comes to certain things that's going on in the industry. Most notably, with developers in regards to the X, and also with the pre-orders coming with the X. It looks like there's already been a round of them. So I'm just going to have a couple of different things I wanted to go through, different stories that are going on right now in the industry. So first I wanted to start out with some interesting little tidbit. Of course, I'm going to link this in the description from trusted reviewers. Looks like they reviewed, they did a interview with one of the directors from the game of Project Cars 2, and he said some developer had some interesting things to say, man, in regards to the X. Now, of course, a lot of these things are things that people like me already knew what's up from the beginning. Even before we knew it was called the X, I already knew what time it was. But it's good to hear these things from developers themselves, because more and more it validates what we already know. And it's good to hear from a developer's perspective of exactly what they think of X. Because you got to remember, they're actually getting hands-on time with the X and developing for it and running their games on it. So, it in a way, it gives us an insight in what's going on when it comes to developmental process of the X being developing for the X, and also how the X runs in regards to these games. So it's always a good thing to hear from developers and see what they think and how they feel about it. And this developer here was just overjoyed, man, about the possibilities and the power of what the X can do and its performance, and was just straight out just saying, hey man, this thing is a beast, and we're going to use it to the best of what we can possibly get out of it. And we're excited about it because there's no other console like it, and it far supersedes any other console, and that's great to hear, because the fact is, that's what we really want to do in the industry, is we want to ensure that we're having our games being pushed forward as opposed to being held back. And anyone that tries to hold the gaming industry back, or developers back, really is doing an injustice to the gaming industry as a whole, especially when they're just trying to basically do it for their own game. So it's good to hear that developers like this, more and more developers like this, are coming out and just basically speaking what's on their mind, that yeah, this thing is the beast that it's called, and it for sure is the real deal. So yeah, man, that's that's just basically a story on that. Of course, I'm gonna link that description. You want to get onto the details onto that, you can go ahead. Of course, he was talking about the biggest things is what they're gonna ramp up is the visuals, and the eye candy of the game. Of course, they're gonna be keeping a lot of the physics. They're gonna have parity on the physics, because they don't want people having different physics and different experiences when it comes to that. But when it comes to the actual graphical fidelity, that's going to be greatly enhanced on the Xbox X, and that's great to hear. So yeah, man, you can check that out. You want to dig into that. Now, the next thing I wanted to go ahead and dig into was these pre-orders, man. So it looks like that the Xbox X has been up for pre-order, and and of course, this was in other regions, and the news article that spoke about it was in Italian. I'm not gonna go ahead and link that. I think Crap Damer has done a story on it. You might want to go ahead and check him out. If you dig him, go ahead and check him out, man. He's I think he did a story on it. I heard it through the grapevine, and I checked it out, and it's one of those things where it's in another region. It's not here in America yet, so don't get too excited just yet. But this is indications that, of course, it will be coming very soon. I would say probably in a matter of a week or so. Probably no more than 2 weeks, but probably less. We're probably looking at about a week, maybe early next week. We'll be seeing pre-orders here in America, hopefully. But the thing is, what the big story is how fast it sold out, man. The damn thing sold out in hours. So in all the regions that it sold in, I think Italy and some other regions, maybe in France, it sold out. And it sold out within hours. It was on Amazon. Sold out on Amazon in those regions within hours. And I've been telling people, I've done a video on this before, about, dude, you better grab the X while you can. It's not going to be, it's funny, man. People be thinking, oh yeah, it'll be readily available, because they're assuming this because Xbox before has been always readily available for people. Yeah, when the S came out, it was kind of like in some places sold out, and it was hard to get your hands on. But I mean, they made enough of them that they kept refreshing, the retail shelves, so it wasn't a big deal. It'll be sold out for a little while, but nah, you can get one, within that week. You shouldn't have too much of a problem, and there's usually ones available in other places. But when it comes to the X ain't gonna be like that. I've been trying to tell people, warn people, hey, look, if you want to get your hands on the X, fool, you better be up on yours. And it's gonna be similar to the Switch, where literally that damn thing's gonna come out and be available at wherever, Target, Walmart, and GameStop, and all the retailers. And literally, I can tell you, in a matter of days, all those retailers are gonna be shored up and they're gonna be done. If you sitting around shooting a breeze and ain't paying attention and get caught slipping on this, you ain't gonna be able to get an Xbox. You might not even be able to get one this year. And I know a lot of people might say that sounds crazy when you say that, especially for Xbox. But yeah, no, it's like that. You might not be able to get one this year, because you got to understand, the way these pre-orders work is they go in rounds. Once you miss that round, it's going to take time for that next round to come around. And when that next round comes around, you got to be looking for it again, because it's going to be so snatched up again. And you can forget about it once the Xbox X releases. You thinking, oh yeah, I'll just wait till it release, I'll go ahead and grab one from Target or anywhere. Oh no. you gonna be in for a rude awakening about that shit. It's not gonna happen that way. You just go pick one up. No, it's gonna be people waiting at the door early in the morning from the next day. It's gonna be snatched up, gone within hours, man. It'll be gone in the morning. Anyone's is gonna hit the short shelves, it ain't gonna be on the short shelves long. So the thing is about it, and you can just forget about that. And you got to remember, it's coming out in November. That's holiday shopping time. It's like, that's when the people getting on that holiday shopping. So if you ain't on your stuff, man, you may not be able to pick one up until next year. And this is a concern to a lot of people. There's different talks about this right now, about the concern about how available the X is going to really be. And looking at Phil, I mean, he keep talking about premium, and he keeps saying hardcore and all this. And it makes you wonder, are they going to really have enough available? Because maybe I honestly think it's a legit, it's legitimately, that fool, when it comes to Phil, he might be surprised, straight up surprised. I know that might sound crazy, but I think he really probably thinks that, okay, this is going to be more or less for, really the customer that wants the best experience. And yeah, that might be all true, but that doesn't say that it's not for casual people. It's not for people just in general. That even PC guys, like, this has never been done before. We've never seen a console like this before. And of course, it being like, I'll be kind of trying to tell people, it just being the most powerful console ever made is just in itself already just for a reason for a lot of people to want to pick it up. And also, you don't even have to have a 4K TV to see the graphical fidelity boost, and as well as all the other things that it's capable of doing when it comes to, you ain't got to worry about really a lot of patches. The game comes day one with ready to go. Not only that, with that being coupled with Game Pass, you got to think a lot of people who don't have an Xbox or haven't picked up one yet, this is what they're looking for. This is what they've been waiting for. This is what they want. So there's so many people anticipating it out of so many different demographics. That accounts for millions upon millions of people. And they're all wanting it, especially for the holidays, wanting to get their hands on it. You can't think all that anticipation, all those people waiting, that, oh yeah, this is gonna be readily available, I just go pick it up in the store. It's like, that shit don't make any sense. It's not gonna happen that way. Not only that, I think I don't think they really realize how big this is gonna be. Especially since they're doing this thing with Taco Bell. It's gonna get out there. A lot of people is gonna get noticed. A lot of people, oh, okay, they're gonna see that, they're gonna look that up. People who didn't even know about Xbox, they see this Taco Bell advertisement, they're gonna look that up. And of course, Microsoft will be advertising their system. People will look it up. People who may not have been up on it up until this point, they will be looking it up, checking it out. And you don't think it ain't gonna spark interest in people? They want to pick it up, or and see what the hubbub is all about. Of course, I mean, you're gonna have so many people inquiring about it. It's gonna be stupid. And the thing is especially once these games start getting really shown a lot, you don't think Xbox ain't gonna do a Xbox X game wheel of all the different Xbox X games and showing off what it can do? Of course they are. And once that all plays into effect, this is gonna be, it's ridiculous. It's already shown right now with the X selling out the way it did, that the anticipation is so damn high. I just think it's unexpected. I think we're gonna see something like we never seen before when it comes to the X's launch, and even before its launch. I've been telling people this before, they didn't believe me. Hey, this thing is gonna be completely and utterly sold out. People are not gonna be able to get their hands on it, and it's gonna make ground really quick for Xbox, because I truly believe that this is going to become the new the Xbox X is going to become the new norm. It's going to become the new standard to Xbox. Now, a lot of people probably maybe think I'm crazy when I say that, but let me break it down. You think about it, that the Xbox X embodies everything about the true vision of what Microsoft has really been trying to do from jump. Like the true vision of power, true vision of efficiency, the true vision of service, the true vision of multiple applications when it comes to social media, when it comes to creator user content. Look at the new interface that they're coming out with now, where you can completely customize your dashboard and do things the way you want it. You got to remember, the new avatars are going to be coming out. They got they're bringing everything together in one big on one huge platform of everything you can ever ask for, all in one place. And the catalyst for that is the Xbox X. From what I can see, the Xbox X is the last puzzle piece to complete that whole picture. And you have to understand, this is not like a normal release where they're starting all over again. The Xbox X is going to be hitting the ground running, with it being fully backwards compatible and playing all of your games better than they've ever played before, with super sampling, having them being super sampled with 4K and faster loading times, and a lot of the problems that games may have had with tear and pop-ups, all that being fixed and all that running beautifully, with consistent and solid frame rates. You got to understand, like, it's becoming the new standard to all games. No matter if you're playing an older game or a newer game, it doesn't matter. All games are just going to play better, look better. Like, you have to understand that is something that is revolutionary in a way that it's more than worth it for people to go out and go buy it and pick it up. People have went and paid more for a lot less than that. So you got to understand, like, this will be the new flagship of Xbox. I think it's gonna, unlike with the Pro, where if you look at the PS4 is still leading the Pro, dwarfing the Pro, and it's still going to continue. And the Pro sales have slowed down dramatically, and the PS4 is still the king. I don't think that's going to happen with Xbox, because the X being such an improvement in so many different ways. I think it's literally going to become the new actual push. It's going to not only supersede the S, but it's going to be actually the bigger push. That's what everybody's going to be going out and buying. And the proof of that is kind of in the numbers and the anticipation. It's like at a point where it's like, okay, everyone knows this is the real Xbox that they just all want to pick up, and they're just waiting for it to come out. And when it does, that's when I believe that Xbox is going to just do numbers in ways that never been seen before and make some incredible ground. And you got to understand this, the X has, at least 2 to 3 years of raining down Terra, of dominance, of it being the best in pretty much every multi-plat game. And, we got games like Anthem. Next year, we got games like Metro that are going to just blow everybody away on the X. And you can't think with the platform of services that Microsoft has set up, and the X with its dominance, it's just going to be, oh, well, that's not going to make any ground. No, you're going to be dead wrong. This thing is going to kill in sales. And this is one of those things where I could see the X, just in the first couple of months doing a couple of million. Easily, and then that increasing every month, where it's doing 4 million, 5 million, and we talking about just in a series of months. I don't think that's that's something that's not feasible. No, I think that's very feasible if you actually pay attention and you add up everything and look at what's going on. Yeah, it's very feasible. I think the biggest question is going to be, can they just manufacture enough X's? I think that's going to be more of a problem than anything else. Can they literally get them out fast enough to get the sales out there, to make sure they get it? I think when that becomes the question, that's when oh man, it's on an incredible pace. And I think that's something like that's coming. I think we're going to see that. And I think that's going to be pretty crazy when you really think about it, that, this is supposed to be a premium console, but it's literally going to become the standard. I mean, when I think this one is going to be, they're going to have really good trade-in programs for, your S or your Xbox One and to get an X. And I think that's going to be a big, huge push. They got these cool bundles they're going to be coming out, and hearing about a Crackdown 3 bundle. And you got to know, Xbox, when it comes to their controllers and bundles, I'm looking forward to a Elite bundle. You know what I'm saying? Because I told you guys before, I'm getting a couple of them. So it's going to be, I can't wait, man. I'm just really excited. If you really think about this, I really feel that it's going to literally become the new standard. And it's going to be the driving force of what's going to have, Xbox really make a really good push in this next half, to really catch up in numbers. And I wouldn't be surprised by a year or two out that, just in a year's time, they've already done, 15 million. I wouldn't be surprised at all. because I think it's more than possible with what the capabilities of what the X and everything else that they're doing. So for me, yeah, that's what I had to say on that when it comes to the Xbox. So yeah, man, I wanted to dig into some other things that were going on, man, with what I find is pretty funny when it comes to lawbreakers, man. So now, yeah, you guys know the problems. I already had to put this in another video, that the problems that lawbreakers having. What I noticed yesterday is that IGN did a live stream on lawbreakers. But what's funny is that I haven't seen any stories on the problems that lawbreakers is having on a PS4 and a PS4 Pro from them. I haven't heard it from the No yet, nothing. But what's funny is that they did a live stream, and guess what the live stream was on? Of course, it was on the PC. So IGN, they didn't say a word. You wouldn't even think it was on PlayStation if it was up to them, because it looks like they just did a lot. Now the PC's not really having that trouble. It's pretty much primarily looking like it's on the PlayStation. So what's funny is that you would think that normally they would do it on the PlayStation, any live stream they would do, but they are doing it on the PC because they know the PlayStation version is jacked up. So but instead of just reporting that yeah, and actually doing a story on it and you know and reporting it, no, they're just gonna just skip it and just do a live stream on the PC version. Like imagine if that was Xbox. Imagine if Xbox got a game first and it launched all jacked up like that. You wouldn't hear the end of it. Every big mainstream media outlet would be talking about it. You know what I mean? But it's funny when it's PlayStation, it's like mums is the word. You don't hear nothing about it. It's only a lot of smaller YouTubers that are saying something, or YouTubers that are putting out the word of what's going on. Now I'll give credit to Digital Foundry. They were one of the first two, because of course they do analysis on these games, so they do it. But you can't tell me that IGN doesn't know this. You can't tell me that GameSpot doesn't know this. You can't say me this Game Informer, all these different places. You know, NeoGAF. You know, where's their story at? Like, you know what I mean? But it's typical, man. This is what you get. You know, these type of double standards is what you get all the time. But I just think it's kind of funny how they do that. Another thing that was pretty interesting to me, what's going on with God of War. I'm not God of War. Shadow of War, where you got a lot of these Sony fanboys out here trying to do, you know, videos about, oh well, you know, should we be picking up Shadow of War, and you know, Shadow of War is ruined because of microtransactions. They're making like, oh my god, because of microtransactions, oh, the game is trash now. All of a sudden, oh, this is a trash game. And you know what I find is funny? I don't know if you guys notice it, but I always notice that any game that has marketing rights with Microsoft, these fools try to find some way to try to trash the game. No matter what, it's a problem. When anytime you got a game that has marketing rights with Microsoft, somehow there's some reason that we need to find. And the funny thing about Shadow of War, they haven't really been able to find anything that they can really say, because Shadow of War is such a great game. So what was funny about this microtransaction thing is, you know, it took that before they actually started saying something, because it wasn't like they could say really much else. And that tells you just how good Shadow of War is, because they couldn't really say anything other than, oh, microtransactions, oh man, it's trash. It's trash. Now all of a sudden it's trash because it has microtransactions. Even though none of the microtransactions are pay to play. None of the microtransactions, if you look into the details, are actual locked behind a paywall or anything like that. All the stuff that you can get is all stuff you can get in game. You guys can check out Pretty Funny or Gaming. They do a good piece on it, man, where they dig into the details on it. And if you just look into the details of what the microtransactions are, you actually see that there's actually nothing about it. It's just giving gamers a choice. Not all gamers have time to be doing all that. So maybe some of them just want to get a little boost on some things. But none of the stuff is behind a paywall. All that stuff that you can buy is stuff you can naturally get in the game just by playing the game. It ain't nothing locked behind the paywall. It ain't no play to play. Ain't none of that. So when they try to act like the whole game is trash, just because they're doing something that all games out there are doing, all of a sudden it's trash. Like, just get out of here, man. With you, man, that fanboy stuff. Just get out of here with that, man. It's so ridiculous, and it's so annoying, dude, because it's so obvious. It's like, yeah, we get it, dude. You don't like it because you wish, you wish it was being Sony had marketing rights to it. I bet you Sony had marketing rights to it. None of these guys would be saying a goddamn thing. But when it's Microsoft, oh, it's trash. The whole game is trash just because it's a microtransactions. Like, man, these guys are ridiculous. But I digress. But on to more fanboy news. It being like, I'll be hearing dudes, like, fanboys and stuff be talking about, oh, well, I got X game, like, I guess this new Hell Blade game and, Lawbreakers and stuff like that. So I'm excited about, the PlayStation and that's fine. And they say this as if, well, oh, they got plenty of games and they got going on. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Hellblade, I don't care about that game. I'm not interested in the slightest. I have a PlayStation. If I want to get it, I can get it today. But I don't want it. I'm not into games like that. And Lawbreakers, no, I'd rather play Overwatch than Lawbreakers. I just think Lawbreakers is one of those games that it's in a weird place right now where, okay, you could, it's trying to distinguish itself from games like Overwatch, but how well it does it is going to be the real big question, because you got to understand, how well it does it is going to be the difference between people saying, oh, I'm going to take a break off games like Overwatch to play this game. And it has to the difference has to be good enough for people to want to do that. And I just don't see Lawbreakers as really distinguishing itself well enough where it's going to break away enough people to really say, hey, yeah, I'm going to put away all those other games and invest my time and my effort into this game. I just don't see that happening on a large scale. Like, yeah, of course, every game is always going to have its following of people. It's going to have its fans, of course. But on a large scale where it's really impactful, I think not. I just don't see it happening. If it happens, great for Cliff B. That's great. And another thing I want to say about that, like, I know a lot of Xbox guys, they ain't really happy with Cliff B right now. But what I always try to do is not hate just to hate. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think Cliff B's been disrespectful to Xbox gamers. However, I don't wish that his game fails. I don't wish that, oh, I hope his company closed down. I don't see how that makes sense, because the fact is that man has a family to take care of. I'm sure his co-workers or his people under him, they're working honest living, and they have families to take care of, man. And when you wish hate on people like that, you got to understand you're hurting other people who are innocent people. Do you think Cliff B's kids should be hurt? You think they should not have a place to stay? Just because you're upset about whatever he said about Xbox gamers? Like, it's not worth it, man. Like, at the end of the day, I hope he does well, man. I'm all I do is just speak the facts of what I see in the gaming, in regards to gaming. However, I don't hate on any company and wish them to fail. I don't hate on any developer and wish them to fail, because at the end of the day, this game, Lawbreakers, is going to be a great game for some gamers. They're going to love it, and they're going to play it religiously, and that'll be great for them. And as long as it's great for them, it's great. You know what I mean? Like, to each to their own. And I don't think nobody should hate on that, because at the end of the day, video games brings joy, and it brings stress relief. It brings a way for you to, no matter how bad your day was, to just sit down and forget about all that and just, immerse yourself into a game and forget about whatever your worries are or whatever your stress is. And like, I just think that's the most important thing to always think about. That's what these developers are really doing for a lot of us who are real gamers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't hate on that. I don't wish Cliff B to fail. I hope he does great. That's good. I personally have my views on it, but that doesn't mean I hate Cliff B or I hate, his company and I hope them fail and all that stuff. I just think that's a bad view and a bad way to look at it. So any of you Xbox guys that are saying that, thinking that, man, this really think about that. Really think about how that might impact other people who has nothing to do with what Cliff B said. You know what I mean? Like, think about how that hurts the industry as a whole. It's good that we have these games that are coming out, and that developers are actually creating games where they're trying to at least make efforts to try to put out good games, man. So yeah, that's my piece on that, man. But at the end of the day, I'm excited because I think this is just a very exciting time to be a gamer in general. And there's a lot of things going on in the gaming industry that gamers should be really happy for. You know what I mean? I think next year is going to be one of the biggest years in gaming history. I think we're going to see revolutionary games that we have never seen it before. And I think things for the console gaming industry is changing in ways that we can't even predict, you know. So it's just really exciting time to be in. It's an exciting time to be a gamer. And it would be nice if, guys can just really put aside a lot of the hate and just, enjoy playing your games, man. And on whatever platform you're playing it on. So yeah, man, that's gonna wrap it up for me. Appreciate you guys, hanging in there with me. Just letting you guys know, coming close to my 200, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway for those who's been big pivotal parts of the Keep It Real family, and also for those newcomers as well. So hope you guys go ahead and like and subscribe to the Keep It Real family. And for those who are new, welcome. And hey, man, let's just get some games. Let's play. That's what it's all about. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it there. I want you guys to go ahead and hit me up in the comment box. Tell me what you guys think about the future and what's going on with Xbox. Are you guys excited? Are you getting your pre-orders? Hit me up. All right, man. Until the next time. This is Jay. I'm always keeping it real, and I'm gone.